And you want the bubble right in between the lines. So see, I've got 3/16 and 2 feet. So I got 3/8 and 4 feet. Okay, so the water's here. It's going to kind of come this way, and then I've got to direct it out this way. I'm trying to keep it away from the outside columns and stuff. I mean, I'm still going to wrap that. It's still going to be waterproof, but I want to try to direct the water this way, and then have it come around the corner. Okay, so when I have it right there, see, that's almost level right there. I got to raise this left-hand side up a little bit, and then it gets worse down here because I had to move the ledger board. See, I've got to lift it up about 1/8 of an inch or so. So that water's traveling off to the left. Now I already explained to you why I did that. Okay, and I thought I better chisel this off so I can get this running straight out and direct this water over here. I was thinking that if I didn't do that, it was up too high, because you have to remember these tiles are pretty big. Look how big these tiles are. I think they're 2 feet by 2 feet. I'm not sure what they are. You know, let's measure it just for kicks. I'm gonna get my tape measure out. And I'm gonna measure this thing. Yeah, it's 2 foot. 2 foot square. So when these tiles go down, here's my other thing. When the tile goes down, if I have too much more of a slope from here down than that, like if I would have left that 2x6 up high, it was up, oh, what was it, 1/2 inch or more? With me tapering this down, I have an issue with maybe the tile gets kind of wonky, and maybe it doesn't set down flat because it's a big, huge tile. The tile is not going to conform exactly to the floor right in there, right? So I thought, if anything, if I do it less, the tile still has that 1/2 inch cushion underneath it. If I have to, when I put the tiles in, if there is anything moving around right in here, I can take a little 2x4 block or something and kind of beat down on some of these. You know, these are just plastic, and this black cloth is, you can see through it, it breathes. And that keeps these are just little plastic deals. There's nothing inside them, like little upside down cups. And I think this black matting keeps it from mashing down those little plastic things, because when I was walking on it, every once in a while, when I was taking all this floor up, I could tell I was kind of pushing down. But when you get a whole block on there, you really can't break these with this on here, because this part keeps this, you know, this black keeps this one from breaking, keeps that one from breaking, because this is spanning over it. It's kind of funky. So that's why I went ahead and chiseled all this stuff out too, because this was pretty flush. It was 1/8 of an inch or so that I thought I might as well shave it off, and then I kind of shaved it downhill a little bit. I had I had to chisel that off too. I had to cut the wire, and I was hoping that the stucco wasn't up high, and I thought, how am I going to do that? Am I going to have to ground it down? The only little bit that was flush, that was sticking up, was right there, and I just tapped it, tap, 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 with my hammer claw. And see right here, fortunately for me, they didn't run the stucco all the way up. Now the trim went all the way down. See that line? That's where the trim went all the way down to there. Okay, so that allowed me to cut the wire off at the top because it was sticking over, and then I chiseled off that plywood. So now when that piece is on there, it's going to be slightly high there, just a hair, and then it's going to be down a little bit, flat, and then it's going to, from about there up, it's going to go up at an angle, and then it's going to be flat. You see, I'm contouring the whole floor. That way this water will go like that, straight out that way. This water over here is going to go straight along and then out that way. So in a sense, the water is going to go out about there, between there and there. Okay, do you see what I mean? And that's why I went ahead and chiseled that down. I thought I better just chisel it down. And see, I didn't chisel this at all, because this is going to kind of float downhill a little bit. It doesn't go down very far, but you see, I got to raise this side up a little bit, and that's good. That means this is going downhill. It's going down to the left. And so I had to really think about this a lot on, okay, how am I going to, where am I going to put the water putty, and how am I going to float it? So, you know, when I float this, I'm gonna lift this up maybe 1/8 of an inch, and then taper it down 1/8 of an inch, taper it down this way about to here. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a long triangle, and then the same thing here. This is going to be a long triangle. It's gonna go about like that. See, a long triangle. Boom. And that material is going to be floated down to there. This one, probably something like that. I'm going to raise up 1/8 of an inch or so, taper it down to nothing. 1/8 of an inch, taper down to nothing. You see what I mean? And then this one, I'm going to raise that up a little bit and taper that down. I may have it like that, and have it on top of this flashing just a little bit, and taper it down to nothing. This is flat here, and from here taper down to nothing, and then this is just going to go from here to about here, straight along there. Wow. Wasn't sure how I was going to explain that to you, and I just want you to get the whole aspect of this floor. Is that somehow going to help you with your project? Maybe someday it will, especially if you got an outside deck and you want the water to flow properly. Maybe you're not building the deck, maybe you're having somebody else build a deck. You can explain to them how you want to see this water flowing out. Okay, so I'm gonna start mixing up. Just looking at these holes, see, there's weep holes here. Look, that one's covered up, and see where they dimpled those? It's like 3/16 above the bottom of the flange. The water, if any water got on this deck, mind you, it would have to flow it out to here, and then it would have to puddle here until it raised up at least 3/16 before it's going to dribble out of that hole. That's silly. So what I'm going to do on this one too is I'm going to drill with a bigger drill bit, and then I might get a reamer bit in there or something like that. And I want to make sure that that hole, the bottom of that hole, is flush with the bottom of this flange. Okay, the angle on every single one of these. And then even if I want, see, that one's covered up too, see? Right next to the end. If I want, I could even drill some more holes. Might even add one right here at the end. It's like whoever installed that, they just didn't have an inkling what was going on, did they? Look at this one here. Here's the last hole. It's covered up too. I can't see through it. So 1, 2, nothing, 3, 4. 4 holes out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes are flowing, and they're way up too high. So this one is, 10 inches off the wall. So I'm going to end up drilling another hole on that one too. Jeez. Alright. Now I'm going to start mixing up my water putty. Now that I have a game plan, I'll probably mark those out with a pencil first too, and then I'm going to start my rock hard putty over in these areas that you saw me patch the other night. Okay, this whole thing here and this one over here. All right. Okay, let's mix up the water putty. Durham's Rock Hard Water Putty. That's the stuff you want to use.